Okay, Itomic good morning. It is just about 8 o'clock in the AM on Moon Day, September 24th, 2018, in the lunar cycle Awakatsiki, from the Deer Moon. And I am just on my way to the extreme north end of town, to Hardyvale. Same address as yesterday morning, and for the same reason, we've caught another skunk. So gonna go pick up that animal. Unfortunately, he's been sitting out in the cold and rain because we got some moisture overnight, and who knows when the skunk got into that trap, but probably wasn't too late into the night, who knows. Anyway, it might have been suffering a bit, so it's gonna be very relieved to get out of that cage, even more so than usual. Good thing about getting that moisture overnight is that I believe I can safely release Monster today. Monster is the tiger salamander who's been living in the tropics of my study room after having been picked up in somebody's window well in their backyard a few weeks back. So yeah, I'm gonna go possibly release Monster today because we got the moisture, and the temperatures, at least today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, are supposed to be up there, up to and exceeding 13, 14 degrees Celsius. That's not too shabby. Can Monster acclimatize quick enough in those 3 days and find a good hidey hole for the freezing temperatures to come? Because Thursday is going to get sub-zero and maybe even snowy. So I don't know. It is a question, but I think this is the now or never moment, right? Am I going to release Monster, or am I going to keep that poor salamander all winter? I think I'm going to release. I think I'm going to release, and I think I'm going to do it as things warm up today, but we'll see. Right now, we got that skunk to take care of. Kita ka po to. Kita pa ni tata. Kika. Okay. Skunks. Go. Omikit simmi. Ekaistsi. Skunks. Keromatsin. Go. Go. Ekaistsi. Keromatsin. All right, given that today is probably the now or never moment, I'm out here with Monster, and we're gonna do a release out here in this prairie pothole. So I found a little hole here that can introduce Monster to as a starting point, and then hopefully over the next 48 hours or so, you'll find where he needs to be for winter. So let's take a look here. There you go. go, monster. Climbing right down into the earth. Your tail's still showing. Some bird's gonna come pick you off. A little further. Little further. I can still touch you. Maybe you're cool with that at this point. All right. Oh, no. He's going in. Going in. Almost disappeared now. You probably can't even see him on the camera. There's a little bit of tail left. Like I can see maybe 1 inch of tail. But I'm sure that'll disappear pretty quick. So there we have it. Monsters release. Bid you well. Alright, looks like we're swinging into Tuesday, September 25th, 2018. Still in the lunar cycle, Awaka Sikisum. And not a whole bunch else happened yesterday. Nothing really worth recording, anyway. I spent, I think, most of the day back at the homestead, you know, doing some domestic chores, cleaning house, peeling floors. And, maybe it was an hour and a half in the garage gym doing some strength training and a little bit of flexibility training. Hung up a new top and bottom bag. My old one, my Everlast, didn't last. I've been collecting. This is my second item, well, really my third item of equipment that I have from Everlast that I'm saving to eventually make a video called Neverlast, reviewing their product line. Nah, they do make some good stuff, like some of the things that they're known for, you know, like heavy bags and stuff, but for some reason a lot of their products they just can't get it right, at least not to live up to the name, you know. Anyway, got the new top and bottom bag in, went to bed pretty early, woke up way before the dawn this morning, and after, you know, having some coffee and pissing around on the internet and stuff a little bit, went out for a barefoot run, did about just over 6 kilometers around the neighborhood. No big deal, but just getting some leg time in there, getting some cardio. And now I'm off. I just picked up a skunk back at one of the residences that I've been pulling skunks from fairly frequently the last couple of weeks, and I'm off into Alexander Wilderness Park to do the release. It's supposed to be a warm day. Might be the last day of encountering reptiles, rattlesnakes for me, but I am scheduled to teach at Samas this afternoon, so who knows whether there'll be any snakes out at the den sites just prior to my teaching. I might not get a chance to see any snakes today, and that would suck because I know I'm not going to get to see any tomorrow, and then after that, that just might be it. We're going into sub-zero temperatures, and they're going to be bye-bye, gone under. Anyway, let's go release this skunk. Okay, apikai. Kitakapoto. Get him, Matson. One of our local radio stations reminded me that today is the anniversary of the day that I first encountered Mandy on that road with her broken jaw. Yeah, 94.1 CJOC Lethbridge. They were the ones that called it in. One of the disc jockeys there, and his wife and kids were headed down into Popson Park and came across her. And yeah, the rest is Mandy history. So today I've taken a couple stabs at finding Mandy. I stopped by her den here this afternoon, and to no avail. Nobody was home. Then I wandered over and checked another rattlesnake den area that I know of, a complex of different entrances, maybe even separate dens. And I didn't find any rattlesnakes, but I did find a couple of garter snakes, and they were acting very peculiar. I had a few minutes to follow one of them, a younger one, and you can see its head kind of rocking back and forth as it tries to sense its way to the den. Hey, I think it's trying to keep on line with a trail, perhaps a pheromone trail of some sort. I don't know. Some kind of navigation for that head to be going back and forth as it moved along. That was pretty neat to see. I would have liked to follow it to its ultimate destination, but I had to go teach this afternoon. So I ran over to teach at Samus. Had just one client show up, and she had a little girl with her that really was bored, so I made it quick to both of our benefit. It was like an hour or so of what I would normally make of a 3-hour class, so that we could get out of there, her to go on with her day, and but the little girl not to be bored, and me, of course, to get out here and see some rattlesnakes, perhaps. So I've just stopped at Mandy's den again, and she's not home. At least the place where I dropped her off with me, which means she could be out anywhere out here, or she might have went back downriver, to where she originally came from over the summer. Who knows? Who knows where she's gone? I really didn't have high hopes of seeing her again. But I still want to come out here and see. I didn't have high hopes because I didn't want to be let down, you know, in Mandy's case. But I do like to see the other snakes, and you never know when you're going to run into Mandy, because she's out here somewheres. So I figure I'll just explore some of the slopes a little bit, see who I can run into. And I see a little bit down slope, there's a fella who I know who's also very snake aware, and if we end up bumping into each other, we'll exchange notes, I'm sure.
How's it going, Ron?
Good afternoon. Fancy finding you here on one of the last days to look for rattlesnakes.
Yeah, I've been out the last 3 days. In the afternoons anyway.
Did you catch any along the ridge?
Yeah.
Well, back home now, and probably for the night. Saw a few more snakes out there. A couple of neonates that I got a few seconds of film of. Learned some things from my buddy Randy there. The snakes I was asking him about were some that are on a little ridge that I've been watching just recently. They seem to have migrated from another one of the more established dens. But what I learned that was really cool was that earlier today he passed by Mandy's den and saw at least 3 snakes there, 2 of which were Mandy age. So there's still a shot. I think I'll stop back there again tomorrow morning, and we'll see if we can connect with her before winter sets in.